Hello there, friends, and welcome to Strangers in the Night, your source for late night VR gaming talk. I, of course, am your host, Wes, and with me, as always, are my good friends. What's up, Eric?
I do feel like a stranger in the night. This
I
feels
know,
weird.
right?
This feels
I
very
know, it's
weird.
totally weird. And of course, my good friend Ruuts. Ruuts, I feel good, brother. And let me tell you why I feel good. Like everyone knows what's been going on around here over the last little bit. We've had, 2020 show. We've had Christmas. We had CES. You know what I haven't had a whole lot of time for in the last 6 weeks, maybe even 2 months? Playing VR. I haven't had time to play any damn VR at all. So I feel pretty good now that we're sliding back into our old routine, and I actually got to play a few games this week. It's pretty cool.
I was gonna guess sleep, but that's probably also what you've gotten more of for. But that was my second guess was VR. Yeah, it actually did feel pretty good to get back into some VR and check out some stuff. And actually, what feels really good is, the show was starting and I started hearing the buzz of the thing and I thought, oh God, I have my stream open. I had to go mute it. And then I started hearing another one and I started thinking about the echo that we solved or you solved before the show. And I was like, so it got extra echoes taken care of on top of the weird echo that was during the 2022 show. And it feels good to know what it was because I don't like things like that happening that I'm not sure why it's happening. So yeah, it was good.
Part of the deal, man. Shit happens, especially with tech. Speaking of which, speaking of hearing the buzz, my graphics card scared me yesterday, man. Like,
Just start on fire?
no, it started going.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know what it was at first. I thought it was maybe my pump for my liquid cooler, which is getting to the end of the lifespan now. It's getting time where I probably should get a new cooler.
And processor. As long as
Just
you're
got a
getting
new
cooler.
processor.
Oh,
I just got a new processor. Here's the thing about getting a new processor. If I get a new processor, I have to get a new motherboard because
Absolutely.
I've literally ran it to the end of its course. I have the most advanced chip that will go in this motherboard. So if I go 10 series or later, I got to get like a 470 or a 570. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that my graphics card was buzzing really, really loud, and I blew it out with some air, and it was still buzzing.
Oh boy.
So I restarted my computer, and it was still buzzing. And I opened up the software, the EVGA software, and for whatever reason, only one fan was on, and it was on 100%. And I just I clicked it into automatic. It stopped, and then I clicked it back in the manual and turned each fan up individually to 100, no noise, and it's been fine ever since. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but something's going on there, and it's scaring me.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Remember when my card actually did start having issues like that, and then it like went away for a while, and then a couple days later it started back up. But yeah, hopefully it's gone. That wasn't my case.
How long's the warranty on these things? Do they have like a multi-year warranty?
Is it? What is it?
EVGA, you might be all right.
That's why I always
EVGA.
go with EVGA, even though they're going out of business or whatever they're doing that's scaring me. But yeah, they're I think it's lifetime. I mean, they as far as I've ever done it, it's been several years and they still worked on it. So
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better because I know they don't do your typical just 1 year. I don't think so anyway. I was thinking it was more like 3, and we're in that window still, so we might be all right if it would just hurry up and break already instead of just acting like it might one day.
yeah, that's the thing. They're gonna want video or some kind of proof of what's
Just
happening.
turn all your fans off except for one again, and then just run the shit out of that thing. And go run something really hard, like Hubris.
Well, I thought it was going to start back up on me today because, like I mentioned, I got back into VR gaming this week. I went to play the game today, and I went to grab my headset, and it wasn't there, and the cable was gone, and I was like,
Oh
"What the
shit!"
heck?" It was still packed up from my trip, dude.
Oh,
When
no
I left for
way.
my trip, when I left to go to CES, I packed up my G2 in its box.
Wait a minute,
And
you had
put
your
it-
G2? Oh, not with you at CES. Okay, I
No,
thought you meant you.
no,
Okay.
I was gone for a week. I didn't want to leave my shit laying around for thieves. You know what I mean? So I put it all away, and I haven't had time to get it back out, and I'd forgotten about it. So I had to pull it back out of the box and get it all set back up again.
Damn, you're more kidding. You didn't do any VR, did you?
I have not. I have not played any VR at all. I haven't played any
Wow.
games. I haven't had time.
How dare you?
Yeah,
know,
how
right?
dare you?
How dare you?
You know, what's
glad-
horrible is you could have been that whole time, you could have been really digging into What the Bat. I heard it's got like 30, 40 hours before it starts to get good. So,
Yeah, I saw it in my quest
So good.
library today.
So did
Somehow, some way. That
Did
is in
is
our
it really in your
library.
Quest library?
Yeah, I didn't put it there. It had to be you or Todd.
Yeah.
Well,
have
it's
been
in your
Todd.
Virtual Strangers, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put it in the Virtual Strangers.
I
There you
almost
go.
went in there and checked it out.
I wanted
today.
everybody to enjoy that piece of shit. I didn't want to be the only one to be able to enjoy that flaming pile of dog shit. I figured we'd all get the chance to check it out. Have you
here's the
guys played it
thing.
yet? You guys still haven't played it or been in it not even once for a minute?
No.
I started to, but I decided before I went in that I would wait for the definitive version, which is coming to PlayStation VR
That's true.
in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, you're gonna
Oh,
have
bad
haptics.
haptics.
Yeah, the eye tracking, Toby eye tracking. Talk about a game that leverages the hardware. That's it.
Seriously.
And when I say it's coming to PlayStation VR, I mean it's coming to PlayStation VR 2, Ryan Brannon. Okay, PSVR 2. Gotta get that 2 in there.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, super happy to be back. Super happy to be among friends. Happy to be in front of my camera. You know, speaking of friends, when I was in between playing the games today, and I took a little break while wife did Supernatural and my boys did Gorilla Tag, I was just scrolling through my my Twitter as I often do, and I saw a post on there from Blair Renaud, which is one of the few people that I actually take notifications from when he says stuff because you know he says some shit on there sometimes. Anyway, he had tagged this GoFundMe page for a guy. I guess his wife made the GoFundMe page, and I guess the guy needs surgery, and it's pretty serious. He's going to die if he doesn't get it, and he's about to lose his state health insurance. Either that, or they're going to make him pay for it, and he can't afford it, or whatever. Anyway, it was a real sad story, and I was sitting here thinking, should I donate to this guy? I mean, they're not being real specific about what the problem is. Maybe it's a scam. So I start to message Blair about these people to ask if he knows them. And I scroll up to the picture and I'm like,
I know that
wait
guy.
a minute. I know that guy. I know exactly who this is. It's BearBo. BearBo apparently needs our help. So I haven't got it
Denver, right?
linked in there yet. Yeah, exactly. I haven't got it linked in the description. I'm going to put it there. So if you're watching this after the fact, you guys go and help BearBo get money for whatever this surgery is that he needs. But I'm going to drop it in the chat right now for anybody who wants to contribute. Apparently, this is a pretty expensive thing, like 15 grand or something like that. And yeah, and they don't mince words about it if you read the description. Apparently, this is very serious. So if anybody that can help, it would be much, much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, BearBo is a huge member of our communities. He is one of the moderators in my Facebook group. We've known him for several years. You know, he came on to be a moderator right around the same time that Michelle came on. Your wife Michelle came on to help and moderate our group, and he's been and doing all of our chats and you know, tried to get. He's very active in the community. You guys have all seen him in here before, and yeah, I mean. It's a terrible thing, you know what I mean? We're going to talk about it more again tomorrow night too, and then we're going to try and do something a little bit here, probably coming up with a stream. But yeah, I mean, it's a super sad thing, you know. It's somebody, you know, he needs this surgery. He's been through this process to get the surgery 3 times now, and when he gets right to the end before he gets the surgery, something happens where they either deny him or he loses insurance or something like that, and then that's the case now. You know, our wonderful government, the way they do these insurance things, he is about, because he is actually making too much money now, he's about to lose his insurance he has. that will cover it, and the insurance that he could get won't cover the insurance. It won't cover the surgery, and that's how these things happen.
Yeah, sit on your ass. They'll give you everything, man. You end up
That's exactly what it is.
You make some money, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to cut back on your hours, dude. You're working too hard."
Yeah, and it's not like he's like making a ton of money. You know what I mean? He's probably barely breaking, middle class. You know what I mean? Like all of us. And
you don't have. Yeah, it's not a super large amount of money that disqualifies you from that stuff. I don't make very much. With my one income factory job, we don't qualify for it. So I could tell you for sure he's not making that much money.
Nope. No, but I mean, can you imagine you need a life-saving surgery and, increase your life, number one, but make your life that you're in now much more comfortable and easy and less painful, and then you can't get it, and it's going to cost you $20,000 to get it if you need to go get it.
Nuts.
How are you coming up with that money?
I can't imagine. And you got kids to think about and family. I don't know, man. I really feel for the guy, and anyone who can who's able to help, it'll be much appreciated. Again, the link's in the chat there, and I'll get it in the description at the end of the show today.
Absolutely. Midlife Kid says, and we keep hearing this, and we're going to keep talking about this game. Thanks for the tip on Edge of Nowhere last week. Never heard of it. It's one of the best games they've played. And that's one of the things that I fall back on when people say that, man, it's got to be hand presence. You can't do a platformer in VR. You can't do one of those baby toys, those controllers that you've played with your entire fucking life. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of the best games that I've ever played in VR, and I definitely recommend it for everybody.
It's awesome. People say, when are we going to get AAA VR? We have had AAA VR. Yep. The question is, when are we going to get back to it? And the answer is starting on February 22.
Yep.
Super Nintendo Chalmers in the chat says, Wes, any predictions about Astrobot for PSVR 2? Open world like Mario Odyssey or business as usual? So I don't know exactly what kind of changes they're going to make to the Astrobot game. What I do know is that there's going to be one. I fully expect it to be a hybrid game, something that can be played flat or in VR. And they've said certain things about their next title. Things like we're taking it to another level, that they plan to have, that this is going to be a big one. It's not going to be like the original Astrobot Rescue Mission. There's going to be some real time and money behind this one, and it's going to be revolutionary in a few ways. This is all their words. So I don't know exactly what that means, but I do know it's going to be something else when we finally get it.
On launch date? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
We'd like to get that this year, right?
I would guess Christmas. I think that we were talking about this earlier on the Gamescast. Like, if you're Sony and you know that in October, Oculus is coming with a new headset that's going to be smaller, more comfortable, more powerful, wireless, of course, with pancake lenses and mixed reality. How do you compete with that? You compete with that with games. So I think that the holiday season this year, we're going to see Sony come with some banger games to go with the ones that we've already got and the ones that we're going to get this summer. So that might be one of them.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let's say hello to our friends in chat. Ruuts, we did that whole big show on Sunday, and we never said hi to chat. We just
what? Oh my God, we're so rude. Oh my Lord.
Brad came in. Brad just crashed our show, and we forgot all about our friends in chat. So why don't we say hello to Tatum, who's here? Spry Guy. Hey, Spry Guy. Hope you're having a good
birthday.
Good day. Good day. I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but
it is walkabout time, right? So it's about time.
That's true. That's true. Let's see who else is here. Guido's here. What's up, Guido? Good to see you. Fat Boy Vernon. Wife is in the chat. Always good to see these people. Rogue TR here as well. Super Mario Chalmers we already spoken to, or Super Nintendo. Sorry, Super Nintendo Chalmers.
BearBo I saw in the chat. Right, a little bit below where you picked up.
BearBo here. Oh, that BearBo is here. What's up, BearBo? Speak of the devil. We were just talking about you, man. Hope things are going well for you. I guess his chat sucks.
Yeah, well, sometimes. No, usually chat's good.
Zayla Maru, good to see you, friend. Alakazam here as well. Having a hard time finding GT7 now all of a sudden. GameFly, bro. I'm
I
telling
bet.
you, I got it rented from GameFly. If I want to keep it, it's like $35 or something like that. So that's
Keep
the
it.
way to go. I might. I gotta play it first, but
It's gonna be awesome.
good chance, yeah. Midlife Kid is here. Good to see you, friend. Radio Run, Idaho.
Is he still here? I thought he was bailing.
He
He
said
might
he,
be.
I was gonna kick his ass
he said he's I'm here for now, is what he said.
for now.
For now.
Please. What do you think? Does he think
Don't-
he's better
don't
than
die,
us?
Radio Run.
What does he
Don't
think?
die.
He's better than me?
Radio Run. You think you're
I can-
better than me? Sorry.
I could be here for now if I wanted. You don't think I could be here for now?
Yes.
I could do it.
I could. Yeah.
Chinatown D. D's in the chat. What's up, D? Hawk 107 is here. Techno Glitch is here. I got you, Techno Glitch. Techno Glitch won the PSN $20 code, and
Nice.
I just haven't. I keep getting sidetracked and haven't bought it yet. But I got you, bro. We'll try to remember to get that after the show today. Mickey Barrios is here. What's up, Mickey? Good to see you, friend.
Yeah.
Where
Radio
you
Run
are,
says he's
Eric.
still hanging for the moment.
That's
Nice.
good. Thank you, Radio. Right?
Yeah.
Janae Say Qua. Always good to see you here, friend. How about her? Man, just showing up one day a few months ago and now a full-fledged member of the community.
I'm
Love
gonna
it.
get to meet her in person soon.
For real.
Yeah, we're going to South by Southwest, which is a huge entertainment and tech conference in Austin, Texas, and she's gonna go meet us and stay a couple 4 days, 3 or 4
I'm
days.
so jealous. I'm jealous I can't go to all these things because like I could pick one, maybe two more this year, and there's 10. So which one do I go to? It's pretty tough to
The one you're
choose.
thinking about, I think, is probably one of the best.
yeah. It's so
Those
silly,
two, those
though.
two that you're thinking about are probably the best.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make that happen. We're gonna
Oh, yeah.
try to make that happen. Working on it actively. Anyway, I think that's the role here. Everyone that's present. If I missed you, I apologize. Just say something. We'll say hello to you, and let's talk.
Actually, can
Little
I
VR.
wish somebody a happy birthday real quick before we get into our first
Is
game?
it Spry Guy or or Wes?
No, not
Oh.
Sprite Guy. I'm wearing the shirt.
Oh, the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Yes, you
Happy
absolutely
birthday,
can.
Walking Dead. Happy birthday, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. Still probably one of the best games you'll ever play on any platform. 3 years? Is it three freaking years old already?
That's crazy.
Let me ask you, Eric. What's the best game in VR? Is it The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, or is it The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution?
That's an excellent question, and I can't
Mm.
answer it because as much as you haven't played any VR, I have not had a chance to get very deep into that, and I need to. As soon as December and freaking January has been a blur, right?
Yeah, it really has. Roots, do you know who hates it when Eric's not able to get very deep in it?
Yeah, I've been hearing that, Eric. Man, you
She's
need
like, don't go shallow. Don't go
Yeah.
shallow.
It's very selfish,
yeah,
is what she says.
But I hear you, man. I've been thinking since it is their anniversary, and they're making all sorts of lofty promises like cross-save compatibility and all this weirdness. I think maybe it's at least time that we get back in there and stream a little bit and show these people that this game is now fixed and awesome. So I'm not going to play super deep into it like Eric because it's coming to PlayStation
That's
VR
true.
and PC
That's
on
true.
March 21st. But I do think I have another session left in me. If anybody's interested in seeing that, we'll do it. Anyway, happy birthday. Who knew that Saints and Sinners shared a birthday with Spry Guy? It's pretty
That's
I know,
crazy.
right?
Everybody
Everybody
does.
shares a birthday with
Every day. This is Spry Guy's
every
birthday.
day.
Oh, anyway. Let's talk a little VR, guys, because there was a new release this week. And you know what? This thing, again, we've been very busy. This flew right under my radar. I saw a couple of the usual suspects, doing videos on YouTube last week, and I just thought, what is that? Is that an App Lab game? Who cares? But it's not an App Lab game. I don't think this is an App Lab game, is it, Eric? This is a full-fledged dinosaur hunter game from Phaser Lock Interactive, right?
It is from Phaser Lock Interactive, and I don't think it's an App Lab game. That's a great question. The developer sent us a key, so I don't know. Let me look.
Shout out to the developer, Phaser Lock. We appreciate your support, and we appreciate access to Primal Hunt. So what is Primal Hunt while Eric's looking it up?
It is not. It is a Quest Store proper game.
Yeah, I would have assumed so, just from the quality level of the game. Like, a lot of the App Lab stuff has jank stuff in it, and we'll start there. Before we talk about the game itself, what it is and what you're doing, the thing runs pretty damn well, right? And it doesn't look bad either.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty good, man. I mean, for a Quest 2 game, and I hate putting that caveat on it, like for a Quest 2 game, but I mean, I think it's a good looking game.
It's a fair thing to say. Like, the environments are very Quest. Like, the environments are Quest. We can be clear about that. That it isn't like super realistic. It isn't even on the level of Green Hell in that respect. But the
No.
character models and the dinosaur models are very good looking. So you could tell where their art team and their graphics power, where it's all being focused at, right? It's on your bow. It's on the things that you're hunting. That stuff all looks pretty good. Would you agree, Roots?
Yeah, I think it looks very good. Sounds good. The gameplay, actually, the way they're moving and attacking you is good. It's not like you would think. Just like a lot of these games you go into, and you're like, yeah, how am I gonna be shooting these things? All those little fuckers, man, they'll come flying out and they'll hit you from all sorts of different directions. There's a lot going on, and like Eric was saying, the further you go into this game, or to me personally, he was saying that you get 10 hours in this game, it's getting really deep, and I played an hour and a half, I think, and I'm like, holy crap, dude, that's a lot of games.
That's the weird thing. That's the weird thing, and I guess we'll get to that. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. So this is a dinosaur hunting game, but it's not like your Turok and you're out there in primitive world with primitive weapons. Well, I guess Turok you kind of have futuristic weapons. I guess it is kind of like Turok.
It's very damn close, man. It's the closest you're gonna get right now in VR. I mean, it's the if you love the Turok, this is as close as you're gonna get. It's not Turok, but it's as close as you're gonna get.
It's a hunting game.
Difference, the difference between the two is kind of the thing here with this for me. And that's kind of what I've been beating around the bush at and trying not to get to at the front. This is a hunting game, and there's a lot of depth to it. How long was the tutorial? The tutorial was like 20 or 30 minutes long.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a good bulk of time, yeah. But I mean, every aspect of it was something you need to know.
So where's the depth here? Well, the depth is in the numerous levels and numerous enemies that you have, and it also has a modern RPG style skill point and progression system with 3 different phases, being stamina, strength, and defense. So and the skill trees are just fucking huge. Like it's going to take half your life to unlock all this stuff. So that's where the depth is. It's in constantly chasing the trophies, unlocking new weapons, and unlocking points in your skill tree. And Eric, I'd say that there is enough game here to keep you busy for weeks if you like hunting these things.
Hell yeah. I'm probably 6 to 7 hours into this thing. I got lucky enough. I was away in New York City this weekend, brought my headset, had some time when my wife and daughter kind of went to bed early one night. I got in and played for like 3 or 4 hours. Then I hit it for another 3 or 4 hours today. So I got quite a bit of time in this thing, and I am just scratching the surface. You're right. The skill tree, number one, it's not easy to open them up because it takes a ton of stars to open them up, and then you need them. Like you kind of cruise through a little bit in the first few missions, and then the difficulty ramps up, and then you really need to go in and open these things up and get your skill tree open because it gets a lot freaking harder, man, really quick. So this is not an easy game, and it's a lot of progression on you personally, and then your weapons, and then your armor, helmets. I mean, there's just a lot to this game. I was telling Ruuts, I know Todd has played a lot more than I have because he absolutely loves this game, and he already did his video on it. He's just playing it because he freaking likes it now, and he keeps going back to it. So I think he's got like 20 plus hours into it already. And he's not even anywhere finished. I mean, he got to the point where he filled up his trophy room and he's still going. You have to, at one point, you get so many trophies in your trophy room that you have to start deciding which ones you want in there. So there's a lot of animals to take down.
So the premise here is that it's not like a time travel game where you're going back in time and taking on prehistoric creatures, but it's kind of like a science fiction dinosaur hunting game. You inhabit, your consciousness transfers into this android robot, and you have all these futuristic weapons to hunt dinosaurs. And the dinosaurs at first are just regular dinosaurs, but later on in the game they get armor and weapons to fight back with. So like it's not just that you're going back in time and shooting arrows in the dinosaurs. As you can see here, there's way more to it than that. Ruuts gameplay here pretty engaging. This is not an easy game, even at the beginning. Some of these things are hard to kill, and I know I chased these dinosaurs around and pumped arrows and arrows and arrows into them before they would finally fall.
Yeah, they're definitely there's a learning curve, and there's also, it's not just the dinosaurs you're hunting. There's dinosaurs that you're forbidden from attacking. Like you just can't. You're not supposed to go after those ones, and so you're trying to avoid those ones. And you can go stealth. I mean, there is a lot of there's a lot to this game, and I would say if you like bow and arrows type of games or hunting or both, this is probably one of the best hunting games that's in VR. Like as far as actually going and hunting, I like the what is it, the UI that they give you to track, and you can have like that little screen, and it's just very interactive, and they did this very well.
What'd you think about the grappling system that they had going on with the grapple arrows? Oh, that was pretty cool.
I thought it was super smart, man. I'm sorry, guys.
I was just gonna say it's super cool.
Yeah, I think, and you need it, man. You need it. You got to get away from these enemies, and you need to grapple. Like I found myself, especially later on in the game, like running from some of these things, and you just need to get up high, and you just use that arrow constantly.
So the sound and graphics are good. The gameplay is challenging. Yeah, more than sufficient to kind of take up your time, especially if you're into archery, if you're into hunting games, because it isn't just shoot the animals here either. You have to track them. You have to find clues before you can find the animal. You have to find like 2 or 3 different sets of clues and then go find the animal and kill it. So it is a legit hunting game in that sense. My only question here now is it worth it? And first of all, I don't even know how much this game costs. Eric, do you know what the price is on this?
$30.
$30. So they want $30 for this game, and there's enough game here to justify that. But Ruuts, what I want to know is this: is this game a main course or is it a palate cleanser? Because they're giving us main course depth of gameplay, but they're not giving us like a campaign to go through. It's all sporadic. It's all play level, come back to the base, pick another level, play it, come back. There's no real campaign that you're playing through here. There is a progression, of course. There's a deep progression. So is this a main course or is this a palate cleanser?
Yeah, but it says campaign. I clicked on it. No, just kidding. I did say campaign, but you're right. There would be nice if there was some kind of a story, but I think it's kind of both. It's a little bit of both because Eric's proven you can put in good 3, 4, 5 hour chunks in the game, continuing. But it's got that one more. It's got that appeal to go back, so much to go back for. But it's also one of those games I could see you easily going in for just 45 minutes to an hour, just playing a level or two, even if it's not one you need to. You want to beat your score or get more stars, or just wreak some havoc on these dinosaurs. But I think it's kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah, so that's the way I look at it too. It's not a game that I'm going to go play 5 levels at a time in, but it's totally a game that I'll get lost in a level for an hour and a half, just trying to beat one level, and I won't quit until I kill it. In fact, this last one I had to kill. This this one kind of dinosaur, and there's more than one, or there's a lot more than what you need in the map. I killed them all. I just went and killed them all. The problem, it wouldn't let me take all their hearts. Like that kind of bothered me a little bit. Like I want my trophy. If I'm going to kill them, give me my trophy. But I did kill them all. Eric, how would you say that you would play this game in your normal rotation? Is this something that you're going to play in short bursts in between other games, or is this something you're going to spend a day in?
That's a good question. I think it's a little. If it was me, normal me, like I don't do what we do. I think I would definitely play this game, because like it's not like I was telling Ruuts earlier. It's not just the dinosaurs either. It's just not like your normal dinosaurs. And every hunt is different. And as you progress, they get harder, and then they start to morph and they start to change. and they're not just dinosaurs anymore. They're half dinosaur, half robot. And they start using projectiles and firing things at you, and then you're opening up new things, and then you have traps that you can use. You have different explosive type arrows that you can use, different types of arrows with different effects that you can use, different shields that you can use, and you can stealth yourself with your shield.
Oh, I
So
love the stealth shield. That's
oh,
so
it's
cool.
so good, right? It's so good. There's just so much here that if I was just a normal gamer and I had time just to play any game I wanted, I think I would definitely get in here because I want to see what the heck. Like, I haven't even gotten far enough in yet that I have battled some of these huge dinosaurs that have been morphed into the robots. I've just started getting to that point. So I want to go see like what the next thing is going to be. I want to get the next bow. I want to open up, some of the cool, different armors available. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely get back into this. I wish there was a story into this. It's really not. Again, it's more mission. It's just mission based. Exactly what you said. It does say campaign in the menu, but it's just you're just clicking on a mission and going into it. But I think there's a lot here, man. And for $30, this is crossplay too, guys. Rift Store. There is a PC version of this game. I did not play the PC version, but I'm pretty sure it's cross-buy. It does show it, but we don't have. We have
that's how he's been playing it.
Yeah, we have it in the shared account, so we don't. I can't see it on my store, but I think it's probably cross-buy most likely. So
Well, I
two
could check
versions
the
for one
list.
price. Yeah,
I can check the list, which isn't the list isn't infallible, but most of the cross.
You could go to your store and it should say.
Yeah, go to your
available.
Rift Store.
I'm not logged in
Oh.
to that.
How dare you
that
not be
account on
logged
my
in?
Rift.
What?
How
Alright,
dare
just
you?
yes, it is listed as a cross-buy app, so it
The
is.
PC version's nearly identical. So that means, I mean, apparently, I'm assuming it's got a little bit of a graphical upgrade, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Sometimes they don't.
I mean, this is like a lesser Song in the Smoke. It's kind of like got that vibe to the look to it. It's definitely not Green Hell look, where that's more realistic. This is more colorful, more cartoony. Not as good as Song in the Smoke, but somewhere along those artistical lines.
But you're not.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
tracking animals and hunting them down. Different dinosaurs. That's the thing. It's It made. I think that the models of the animals, which is what matters, looked really good, and it was the way they behaved as well. Like the AI is very good on them, and they're all over the place attacking.
Yeah, really, the only criticism I have of the game at all is the structure, the mission-based structure. I would have preferred a campaign for my taste. But the gameplay's solid. It's challenging. There is a ton of it. If you're asking me, is it worth the $30? I'm going to say that depends. There's certainly enough game here. It's certainly good enough to merit $30, but this isn't going to be a game for everybody. So you need to know what you're buying going in. Eric, what do you think? $30 worth it or no?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Definitely yes for me. I think this is definitely worth it. There's a lot of game here. It's really good. It's well done. Ruuts is right. The AI, smart, man. The AI is really good. If you're stealthed in the bush and the dinosaur passes you and you think you're okay to go, to start to walk, and you stand up and walk and you make any kind of noise whatsoever, that dinosaur will hear you, turn, and chase you down. So it's done really, really well. It gives you like sound indicators, so you know how much sound you're making. It gives you indicators as to how aware the dinosaur is. It's very well done. This is more of a stealth game though, so because I don't think, it may be later in the game, but I don't think you could ever run and gun in here with this, right? I mean, I couldn't in my gameplay. So if you're not a person who doesn't like stealth, I don't know if you could do it.
You can't use that as a play style. There are scenarios that you can, like if you have your enemy hurt and you know the map, there are certain areas of certain maps where they get kind of bottled off, and if you know that they're over there and you're close, you can charge them and finish them off. But if you don't already have them hurt, they're just going to kill you anyway. So you're going to have to make sure you're in the right situation before you try something like that.
Yeah. It's the amount.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's the amount of them. Like I had gotten to a spot where I had 3 raptors all over me, and I couldn't. I was trying to stealth around them. If I had just gone out and tried to gun them down, there's no way I would have survived.
Those 3 raptors. You're only one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Super Nintendo Chalmers says not a fan of dinosaurs with armor. I thought we were going for realism with VR. Well, it depends on what you're looking for. I kind of like the thought of going into a world that, like Wes always says, that I could never walk into in real life. And that involves dinosaurs in general, because if we're talking about hunting dinosaurs, that's not realism either. They don't exist anymore. So at some point you have to suspend reality, right? So
Yeah, suspend disbelief. That's a good example, though, of what I'm saying there. This won't be a game for everybody, but if you're into this sort of thing, I think the price is fair. But what about you, Roots? $30 is it's the new 20. Do you think this game merits that price tag?
I think for what it is, it absolutely does. It's got so much gameplay that the gameplay is actually good. The progression is good. It may be laid out in a way that seems odd to us, but when it's in an arcade machine, in what's the name of that game, we have no problem with it. It makes sense. I don't think there's any difference here. It's laid out in pretty much the same way. You go from level to level. You're unlocking points to, in this case, even more so, go deeper into trees and stuff, of your 3 different categories, and trying to make yourself more badass so you can, like Eric said, play these even harder levels. So at 30, 40 hours at least. Todd's 10 hours plus in, and he's just somewhat scratching the surface. I think if you like hunting games and if you like bow and arrow games, it's definitely amazing. And we've been saying this for a while. Where's the hunting game where you go in and hunting bears and deer, and they don't exist. This is the only hunting game that I know that you actually go out and hunt. And I hope that maybe somebody will make a game like that other one that people want, with actual hunting of animals that do exist, in this type of style. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. There should be a Cabela's game by now. Cabela's VR.
Yeah, why couldn't you do it with these mechanics? I mean, I think that would be cool. I mean, a lot of people like doing that. You know what I mean? They like doing the stalking and sitting and doing big game hunting. I think that would be cool.
If I can do it in Red Dead 2, we can do it in the game.
Yeah, right.
To be fair, there's some good hunting mechanics in modern survival games. Both Green Hell and Song in the Smoke task you with tracking your enemies. Not maybe on the level of this in terms of the tracking, but you do have to use stealth. You do hit them. After you hit them, they leave a blood trail. You got to find them, finish them off. You gut them and get all the stuff you need out of them for survival. So in some ways, those survival games are a little bit more realistic than this is. But this one certainly puts a little bit more into tracking the animal first than either of those. So you're right. We need a definitive hunting game that kind of takes all this stuff and puts it in one package.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, only one more thing to say about Primal Hunt. When's the PSVR 2 version coming? Because after the next month, I'm not playing anything else for a long time.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
You'll cover some. Yeah, you'll have to cover. You'll have to slum it with some PCVR every now and then.
Yeah.
Or some Quest titles.
You're right. Well,
we gotta go get all these titles, man. We gotta go get all these like PlayStation titles. Start making phone calls.
we can talk about that after. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Anyways,
because I want to play them all though, Wes. I want to play even the old ones.
Well, you might have to track some of those down, because I could give 2 shits about Job Simulator.
Well, I want to try it though. I want to see a Job Simulator with face haptics. It's got to be great.
Face yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of these games we're going to be like, oh my god, this is leveraging this hardware so much. Not at all.
You know who loves face haptics?
My mom.
I've been double checking the button smash after that one time.
Oh, that was the best. That was the best. People are still talking about it.
Oh,
but I do want to play stuff like Tetris Effect. You know what I mean? I want to check that out.
Yeah. That goes without saying. We covered these games on Sunday. Tetris Effect,
Res
Thumper,
Infinite,
and Res Infinite. I'm so excited for all 3 of those. So those will all be day one for me. Like those are all day one plays for me.
Me too.
There's a lot of other ones, like even new games like Light Brigade. I'm really interested in Light Brigade.
That looks cool too.
How that's going to be.
I still think
there's a lot of stuff in there.
I think we're going to understand what the bat. I think that might have been the problem. Upload VR played it on the PlayStation VR 2 version, and they got to see the best version of it.
Guys, listen to me. You promise me one thing. By the time that we meet again for next Wednesday's show, I will on at least an hour or 2 into What's the Bat for both of you guys. Come on.
If I go 2 hours and I'm like not there, should I go an extra third? Like
Yeah.
Mash is like, dude, you just one more
Eric.
hour and you got this.
Eric. Real time review.
Oh, that's the best. Yes, real time review, guys. You have to show up for real time review. What the Bat next week? I love it.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you, because we're just 3 weeks away from a launch on PSVR 2. Maybe we open up our PSVR 2 coverage. We're not going to do this
With what the
with
bat? Oh my
what
god.
the
With what the
Bat.
Bat? It could be the biggest thing. We could do a side by side. We could do a real time review, or we could do a side by side of the Quest
split
version.
screen.
Yeah, split screen review of Quest version versus the PlayStation VR 2 version. I want to do this.
Oh, I love it.
Well, if
Love
we
it.
do that, we have to start the episode with the bat. The music has to be
Mhm.
involved, because that music is
What
the
the
gem.
what the?
All right. I think you've convinced me, Eric. I think this is something we have to do.
We're doing it.
And every time we mention the game's name, we have to introduce it as the Upload VR 2022 Game of the Year. What the Bat?
And that's when the audience drinks every time. I'm just kidding.
Gamertag VR wants to know if I want to play Test Light Brigade.
I
Sure.
do.
I mean, I'll take an early copy of it. I was actually getting ready to contact them and see if we could get some keys for it, because I think it looks cool.
Yeah, hell yeah. I want to check it out.
Now we've got copies, Guido. Thank you.
Of what,
Please
the
don't
Bat?
anybody ever buy that game.
That's the new Room VR. We're gonna give it away.
GT says he still hasn't played What the Bat. Well, I'll tell you
Come
what,
on,
GT,
you guys
just
kinda-
wait for our real time review, and we'll tell you what's real and what's not, as we always do.
Am I the only one who's played this piece of shit?
Well, I can't believe we convinced you to play it, dude. I was not.
I had to, man. I wasn't going. I demoed this game, so I knew what it was going in. But I wasn't gonna play it. I wasn't gonna make a video. I wasn't gonna do any content, because I don't go out of my way to like go crap on games, right? Like if I don't think it's a good game, usually I just don't cover it. But Jesus, man, when they come out and say it's game of the year, I'm like, look, I need to go into this thing now, and I need to make a video, because I need to show everybody else who hasn't played the game that it's not good, and that it's not anywhere near game of the year. You know what I mean? They kind of put me in a corner.
You just didn't get it, dude.
I did. It was me. I know.
Yeah, man. If you just in 15 more minutes, you would have got that shit.
I know.
You just had your mind made up going in.
It is.
I'm going to go in with a clear mind that it might be good, and then let it disappoint me as I play it.
Yes.
I did play Garden of the Sea last week, because Guido did send me a copy of Garden of the Sea, and so I felt obligated to go play it, and I did. I put 2 hard hours into
Garbage.
Garbage of the Sea. You know who loves it when you put 2 hard hours in her?
My mom!
Yeah, she does.
I had somebody in chat today tell me I need to play Garden of the Sea.
So was it worth 2 hours, Mash? It was what you expected?
Is this a tune in tomorrow thing?
Tune in
Might
tomorrow.
be-
Tune in tomorrow. The Q2C VR Gamer Live for the full review.
Yeah, there you go. Link in the description below. Let's talk about something good, guys. Let's
Hell yeah.
talk about PCVR modding. How awesome is this that, like, you know, we just do this 13-hour show. Like 2 hours of it's dedicated to mods, and we had to hurry, like, because we were running out of time. We could have did 4 hours on it. All these mods to choose from for mod of the year, and then we get into January, and just it doesn't stop, man. You know, we've got a new Prey mod out now. We've got Metal Hellsinger that's out now. Well, there was another one. There's one every day. We got Half-Life 2 episode 1 that's coming out very, very soon, and that's not to mention the Universal Unreal Injector, which is also coming very soon.
Neon
these
White
mods-
too. You had put in there because, and as soon as you put Neon White in there, I just saw that they were up for like a whole bunch of awards or whatever this game was, and I was like, I don't know anything about this game, but now I want to check it out.
Yeah. Well, this game that we're talking about here, Bendy and Neon White, these were the 2 big blank spots I had in our mod of the year list. And everyone kept telling me, play Bendy, play Neon White. So this is what we're doing. This is the first one we're doing this week. And you remember, Ruuts, when I said I think Raikuparta did this one, and they corrected me, said, no, Now this is Dr. Beef. What this actually is, I learned today. This is a mod that Raikou Part had put a lot of work into, and then Grant Bagwell from Team Beef kind of built on that and finished it out and
So
made it
you were
what it
both
is today.
right.
Yeah. So it actually is kind of both.
Combo.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, Dr. Beef doesn't do many of these PC ones, right? He's kind of he's pretty heavy into the Quest stuff. Is this his first?
Oh no, they have some other PC stuff. Don't ask me what it is right now,
But I think mainly we know Dr. Beef from Quest stuff, right?
Yeah, that's where that's where he's made his name at over these last few years, bringing mainly Doom. Doom is the one that really set them off, but there's a bunch of other games that they've done, Half-Life and all these other stuff.
Oh yeah, Wolfenstein was great. Yeah,
probably the most prolific team of modders in the biz right now is Team Beef, because these guys put stuff out every month almost. So anyway, shout out to Grant Bagwell and shout out to Dr. Beef. These guys are rock stars.
Yes, they are.
Anyway, Bendy and the Ink Machine is the first in, is it 2 or even there might even be 3 of these games on PC as well as multiple console platforms. These are popular games, horror games that are set in the kind of early 20th century animation style. First of all, well, these are very popular games. We should say that this is a popular game. This is something my kids were asking for Christmas. If that tells you anything about it, like they wanted to play this, and I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. We're going to be getting that one soon anyway.
How old is this game? Do we know?
I'm going to say 5 years. 5 years.
Wow,
old.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Something like that.
it's been out a while.
Crazy.
I know there's at least a sequel, at least one.
Yeah, the one just came out like a month ago, or less than a month ago. Ruuts, let's start with the vibe here. I just always dig this old timey nostalgic vibe. Anytime I get to experience it in the game, and this game is absolutely chock full of it.
Yeah. Just the comics, the cartoon like figures, the music that you come across. Somebody's mentioning Cuphead in the chat. I love that game. That would be an amazing game in VR. It kind of has that feel in a sense, as far as that like old cartoony feel, like you're really going around this studio that used to make cartoons back in the day, but it's got a really creepy vibe as well. And like Eric and I were saying at the beginning before we started, it has some pretty scary parts, man. I'm not gonna lie. There's a couple parts that like I didn't know what the hell was happening, and it like it was very it's done very well. I think this game almost feels like it. Obviously it has a big following. People love it, but just like most games in VR, it's its best version, right? So
I think it's that fucked up factor is why people love it so much. Because I got to be honest, Eric, when I started playing this, I was not impressed at first.
Really?
Like I was impressed with like the lighting. The lighting is phenomenal in this game. It really gives you a sense of presence, the volumetric lighting and stuff that they've got going on here. But the gameplay in the first level is extremely simple.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you.
They hit you with a couple of cheap jump scares, which don't do anything. And I'm like, is this what this game's going to be? Because I mean, it's cool to be in here, but this it needs to be more than this. And by the time you get into chapter 2, it becomes a lot more than that. And it's not just, I mean, it is a bit of a fetch quest, but there's certainly some puzzles that you have to decipher here. You have to find clues to figure out what to do to progress through the level. And Eric, this thing gets downright evil. And I think that it even seems even more evil because of the kind of innocence that the animation world has at first. And then when you realize just how evil and demonic the adversaries are in this game, it really by contrast is very striking.
Yeah, I mean, this game is a pretty cool game. Like I got exactly what you're saying. I kind of got the same vibes. Like the first chapter is pretty much all just go find this stuff, go find that stuff, bring it here, do this, do that. You have to get, go find this and flip this switch. So it is a little bit like that. For me, it didn't seem so bad. because I was in VR. If I was flat gaming this, I would be like exactly what you're
Right.
saying. But because I was so awed, we'll get into the mod in a minute. Because I was so awed, it didn't bother me as much because I was in VR, and I was just like so focused on everything else that I was like, okay, let's just get through these things. And then once I got through them, and I started to see more things, and got some of those jump scares. I don't know. You were saying they're kind of like cheap, but damn, they scared the shit out of me. Some of them, like I wasn't. They get you in spots where you just don't expect it. And a couple of them got me pretty damn good, man. And I usually don't jump at a lot of these things, and one of them like almost got me jump out of my chair a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
they were pretty good. But yeah, this is a fun game, man. Again, I don't know if I'd play this game flat, but this is a fun game.
Roots, some of the evil shit going on in this animation studio is a bit unsettling. You know, they had to edit this game from its original version because there was like pentagrams everywhere, and like
Really?
it was too much, and they had to go censor some of it. But even as it is today, it's still very unsettling with some of the like obvious ritual situations that you end up walking into, and like you can walk to certain parts of the map and you'll hear screams or whispers. They do a really good job through the audio, and through the environments of just kind of building um, unease in the player.
I think it's smart that they probably were reluctant to want to pull out that stuff, because they wanted it to be creepy. But the fact that it's not there in your face, but it is there behind the scenes, behind this cute facade, like you said, it makes it feel even creepier. And it's paced very well, like very, like you said in the beginning, it's slow, you're turning around and there's a thing there and you're like, oh, that wasn't there before, and it's just more and more it just gets creepier and creepier and creepier. And then, like you said, chapter 2, things start to get really crazy, and that's just the beginning of it. And so I'm hoping they bring the sequel in. People say the second one is better than the first, and
Really?
that's what they said. I've talked to one customer today about it and asked him if he knew what it was. Told him this one came in VR, and he said he had heard that the first one was a little bit slower, and the second one was. He equated it to BioShock. He said, like in BioShock, the first one you're scared of everything. The second one you've got your suit of armor, so you're more badass. You're running around doing shit. That's how he equated it.
Yeah,
So.
I'm told that the second one also ties a lot of strings together with regards to the story. So a lot of stuff comes together in the newest one. My son's telling me that I need to go ahead and play it. Don't wait on the VR mod. And I'm like, no, they'll have this thing in VR. They're telling me they'll have a VR mod within 2 months probably for the new one. So we'll just wait,
Yeah, which will come first, Returnal or the sequel? To this?
Oh God, I can't wait for Returnal. It's coming in March, I think.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Hopefully people get on that one pretty quick.
I think we're going to see it on PlayStation.
It's very possible. I mean,
I may have heard somebody somewhere that I trust tell me that they demoed PlayStation VR 2, and what they demoed was Returnal.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've heard the same thing, Eric.
Yep.
I didn't hear. It wasn't
It's
first.
probably from different people.
Yeah, it wasn't firsthand. I heard it from somebody who knew somebody that supposedly did that. So
Yep.
You guys, you're not going to believe this, but I heard the same thing just right now from you guys who heard it from somebody. So we got a whole chain of rumors going, but from what I've heard, it's credible rumors. So that's exciting, man.
yeah, I heard this 6 months ago. Apparently it's been.
It would make sense, especially if Sony does plan on embracing hybrid games, So
Merry Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Quest 3. How about Returnal in VR?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
Gamertag VR says GoldenEye tomorrow. So I guess the GoldenEye mod, is that going to finish up tomorrow or something?
Oh, yeah?
They were working on it. That's cool.
Is it just the multiplayer, or is it the actual game?
It's a good question. Which would you want it to be? Because the multiplayer
You know what?
was only good because it was the first of its kind. I think you might now be outside of nostalgia. Will it be what you would hope it would be? That's a question.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's both because I had a freak ton of fun in both of them. But man, the campaign was great in that game too, man. It was really good. And I love that game.
Man, I'm a campaign guy. If I had to pick, that'd be what I would pick.
Yeah.
But you're right, Roots. It is a dated game. It was revolutionary at the time. Does it hold up today? I guess we're going to find out.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, let's get back to Bendy here. Incredible story-driven horror game here. There are clues hidden throughout the level that come in the form of audio logs. And it's funny, Roots, that you mentioned BioShock. Because there's certainly some BioShock vibes going on here with the way that they're telling the story, as well as the overall aesthetic. Now, I know you didn't play BioShock. Have you played it, Eric? Have you played BioShock?
I did. Yeah, played the first one all the way through. I don't think I finished the second one.
Did you pick up some BioShock vibes as you were playing this? Because I felt it a little bit in the character voice acting and some of the environments. I kind of felt like I was playing BioShock.
Yep, definitely, and exactly like you said in some of the audio recordings and things like that, and the way they tell the backstory a little bit with that, 100% gave you those vibes for sure.
Gamertag VR says no, it's the original re-release on Xbox and Switch. Sorry, not VR.
Bro, how dare you get me all excited for freaking VR?
How dare you?
Oh,
GoldenEye, I am crushed. My soul, my heart hurts.
Let
now,
me get you
GT.
excited for Harry Potter VR. That's actually the flat game. If you pre-order, you get it 3 days early. But
I saw that, and you get a armored hippogriff.
Yeah, somebody's gonna mod that into VR, so I'm excited.
They're all going to be VR games, all of them, thanks to Prey Dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know where to go with this. Because I think it's pretty awesome, but it's a pretty simple concept for gameplay. Like you're trying to escape levels. Pretty much that's been my experience so far with it. But they progress pretty quickly in complexity and in enemy count. Because at first it's just a simple puzzler, but there is combat in this game, and while it's basic. I would say that it's certainly more well suited for VR. Having full use of your hands in this game, you're not pressing a button to strike the enemies, but rather swinging your weapons. And I think it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one game that Eric can't stand in VR, the one where you're riding in the car and it's like, he's like, there's no reason to be in VR. And the way that you interact with stuff at first, you kind of feel that way. It's a point and click, right? Okay, so you start thinking, well, do I even need to be able to have full hand presence in here? But then you get the axe and you're knocking wood down and you're attacking stuff, and like they took it to the next level. And even if you didn't do all of that, it feels different. You're doing it with your hands and having hand presence, even though you're not grabbing things and carrying them around. You are reaching out and even though it's left trigger, which I thought was weird at first, but you're still actually interacting with things in a different way, right? And instead of just hitting the A button. So
right. And speaking of which, we might have to bring back the best hands category for the 2023 show, because Eric, how about these hand models for a friggin' mod, man? These things are super detailed and realistic looking.
Dude, this mod is fantastic. That was one of the things. That's why, like I said, I didn't get bored in the first chapter, because I was just marveled at how great this mod in this game. If you told me that this game was a built from ground up VR game, I would almost believe it. The only thing is, again, the point and click to grab things. If you could manipulate items and like pick up items with a grip button, I would 100% think this is a built from ground up VR game. This game is exactly why you would want to make horror games in VR, and it lends itself so well to virtual reality that the whole first level, I was just walking around going, holy shit, this looks amazing. Holy shit, this looks great. I love this art style. I love the way this pops in the headset. Everything looks 3D. I mean, this is so freaking good, man. I love it. And the hands, like you said, the hands are fantastic. Like, and you just don't get, there's people that have been doing this for years and years and years. building from the ground up VR that don't get hands right, and they got this right on a mod, man. It looks so damn good.
And Roots, Eric makes a good point here about the way the game looks and feels from the inside. I already mentioned how awesome the lighting is at the top. The 3D depth is also very good. I mean, if it weren't for those trigger pull interactions, I would say everything else in this game seems like a native VR game.
Right. And I mean, this is a game that's designed to be like a old school classic looking game, and it looks phenomenal in VR. And it just, the presence, it really does make you feel like you're in this this studio or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I think they nailed it.
I'm starting to regret not doing a real time review for this tonight because I feel like it's warranted here. And I mean, here we are, hour into the show, and we're about done talking about these. But this is a game that really you need to show people instead of talking about it. So I feel kind of sorry that we didn't have the foresight to see this.
Well, there's always opportunity to do that in the future for a just a stream, a live stream, right?
That's true. We could just stream the damn thing. Well, let me get a count in chat. How many people here would like to see me stream Bendy VR?
I would. I'd watch you stream it. I loved it. I fired this up flat. Did you guys fire it up flat at all?
No. Well, I mean, I did once because I always it's good practice when you install a mod to run it one time flat first. But I didn't play through any of it. I just ran it to set up the game files and then close it immediately.
Same here. I always try and run them flat first because a lot of times you have to, and then it didn't say you should or not, so I always just do it just in case. So I ran it flat, and it was open, so I'm like, I'll try it, and it was not good. I didn't like it at all. I was telling Ruuts earlier, I don't know what it was. I don't think this is really meant to be played. I think it's meant to be played gamepad, but I was playing it keyboard and mouse because I didn't have my gamepad out, and the mouse had terrible lag to it, and it almost got me sick. Because it would just it would drag, the screen would drag when I moved around. It just didn't run well, and it's just not as fun, man. When you're doing something flat on a screen, like especially like this, it's blah to me. And then when I put the headset on afterwards, I'm like, holy shit, man! So I actually saw it flat before I even put the headset on, and I was just shocked. Like I enjoyed it so much afterwards, and I really didn't think I was going to in the beginning.
Yeah. So I think if you install the VR mod, you have to play it with VR controls. They won't let you gamepad it.
Maybe that's what it was. Okay, because it was weird. Yeah, it was definitely weird. I mean, it worked. Like I could WASD it, but the freaking mouse was weird. It was drag. Like if I would pan left or right really slow, it's okay. But if I tried to move quickly, it would like completely warp, and it would almost make me sick because I was looking at my big monitor. I was like, whoa, that's like really bad. So maybe that's the case.
Well, before we wrap this one up, I think we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the final aspect whenever we review mods, and that is ease of installation. We didn't know how it was going to be for this one because, as you mentioned, Team Beef mods, they typically are quest mods, and there's typically a few steps to go through. But I was happy to find out that this is almost as simple as PC modding gets. You unzip the file, you make sure it's on the same drive on your computer that the game's on, and then after that it's a one-click install. Like you bring the installer up, it automatically finds the game for you. You click install, it takes a half a second, it's done, and then you can launch straight into VR from the installer, and it works flawlessly, and anybody could do it.
Almost anybody. There's some people out there I question whether they probably could. Maybe. But 99.9% of people, absolutely. Super simple.
Yep. All right, so here's what we're going to do, because we're sitting here an hour into the show, and we're pretty much done talking about this stuff, and I'm not done. And there's people in the chat saying, I'd watch you stream it. So I think I'm going to cut you guys loose, let you go to bed if you're tired. If not, you can hang out with us tonight. And I'm going to take about probably 20 minutes to set up after the show. And we're going to stream this game right now.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Nice. That's a great idea, man. Yeah, hell yeah. I'll jump in the chat. Well, I'll jump in the chat while you're in there, and I'll chat it up with everybody. I'll watch.
Yeah. Gamertag VR wants to know if we ever did Gunfire Reborn. We didn't, but I will agree that it looks awesome.
No one
That
talks
looks
about
good
it.
too.
He says it's good, but nobody talks about it.
Well, we still got three more weeks to fill with something. Maybe that'll be one of the ones we get around to.
Yeah, for real.
There's a
But
whole bunch of
anyway,
cool mods that are like we still haven't gotten to. A couple of them that were from last year, and there's some new ones
Yep.
dropping all the time now.
Yeah, the ones I mentioned earlier, I'm going to play all of those. Neon White looks friggin' incredible. You said you found out about it after I brought it up in the Discord the other day. Did you look at it? Any gameplay of it at all?
I didn't. I saw it and you put it in there, and I said, "Wow, this I've never heard of this." You know, I don't know anything about it because we were trying to pick what we were going to do, and I said, I can't choose this one because I don't even know what it is. But as soon as you had put it in there and we started talking about it, I had gotten an email from some award game. It must be an award show, a game award show, and Neon White is up for like 5 of the awards that are listed there. So I'm like, holy shit! So it was just kind of coincidence that I saw that. So I still haven't even looked at the trailer or anything on it.
It's a speedrunning game. It's a platform-based speedrunning game where you're just kind of running through these levels, killing enemies, picking up power-ups as you're going, but it's
Subway
all
Surfer.
breakneck fast. Yeah.
Wow, that
it's
sounds
pretty
like right up
cool.
my alley, man.
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks like a game that was meant to be played in VR. So we definitely should be covering that one pretty soon. Again, we've got a few weeks to fill here. Maybe we'll just do mods the whole time. Although I don't think we'll do mods the whole time because there are some cool things coming. Like Windlands is coming to
Yeah.
Quest 2. That's pretty exciting.
Yes, it is tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow? That
Windlands
launch
2.
tomorrow? Windlands 2?
I think on the last day of the month. I might be wrong about that.
Our buddy Mike VRO is involved with that one.
Was that
Jumping
right?
in, yeah, heck yeah, jumping into the game development area or helping.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it here. And again, guys, just stick around for a few minutes. I'm going to get a stream page up. I'm going to get my headset up and running, and we're going to play this game because, again, you know, we can sit and rave about it, but it's a fairly simple game. There's not a whole lot to say about it. You just kind of have to see it. So I'll show you. I'll show you just how awesome it is.
Well,
Hell
Fat
yeah.
Boy
Anyway.
Vernon says, "Dude, you're simply the best." He is.
Thank you. Thank you. I very much appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who stayed up tonight to hang out with us and everyone who's watching after the fact. If you haven't already, please click the things. Please click the thumbs up to like the video. Please click subscribe. These are all very important. People have been doing a really good job of this lately, subscribing and liking the videos, and it does make a difference. You guys watch our subscriber count, and you can see firsthand the difference that it's making. I do think YouTube might be pushing us a little bit now. If not, every one of you are working overtime to get the word spread out there because things are definitely starting to pick up around here, and it's because of you all. Of course, if you want to do something extra, as you can see on the screen here, you can support us on Patreon. $3 per month, that's all we ask. And you get our weekly show notes, you get insider updates, you get exclusive content, all for less than $1 per week. And it goes to a good cause. It goes to the cause of helping us get games and hardware and prizes. And pretty soon, hopefully, I'm going to be traveling a little bit more. It's all very, very helpful, and we couldn't do it without you. So shout out to the patrons out there. And then, as you saw on the screen there, of course, you can all join us in our Discord. As long as you promise not to talk about PSVR 2 or Quest 2 around one another. No, I'm just joking. The Virtual Strangers Discord is an all platform agnostic VR community where we talk about all games. It's not even just all VR. And it's just not all gaming. We kind of have a nice community going here. We talk about everything except for the things that really divide people. You already know what that stuff is. We avoid those topics. But everybody's typically very friendly and cordial. And it's a family atmosphere. So if you haven't already, click the invitation link down below. Join us on the Discord. I assure you people will be at the door waiting to greet you.
Yeah, Wes would left the light on. Waiting for you to come home.
Leaving on all the time. Power bill's going
He's like
up,
Tom
though.
Bodette.
Power bill's going up.
Yeah.
So
Might
we're
have
still-
to hit that light, right? I don't. Motel
Yeah.
6 probably not leaving their lights on anymore either.
Yeah,
No, it's too much.
It's smart. It's smart. I wouldn't if I were them.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that said, friends, I'd like to thank. I'm sorry. Thank you. This is why I married her. Thank you.
There's other reasons
Last-
why you married her, but that's one of them.
Well, I can only talk about so many of them without getting demonetized. This is one of the reasons that I married her. Last call. If you guys want to enter the giveaway for the 2022 show, you've got about a day left to do that.
Oh, wow.
Because we're going to have to draw winners, and we're going to announce winners on Sunday show. Not only are we going to announce winners on Sunday show, we're going to name new winners that are in the chat, because I've got more keys to give away. And I guess we'll go ahead and spill it, man. I've got, in addition to all the keys that I put back, the just in case keys from the games that you guys know that I already have, like most of the best games of 2022 we gave away. I've also got a handful of Into the Radius on Quest now to give away too. And we're going to put those in the chat. So again, with other stuff, we're going to name winners from the drawing. We're going to have more giveaways in the chat, and we're going to try to fit some VR news in there somewhere, although I don't know how much of it we'll get to. But it's last call. If you want to enter the massive 2022 show giveaway, go watch the 2022 show. Make sure you're subscribed, and it will tell you how to enter. It's quite easy.
Sprite says he wants to win.
Epic.
It's his birthday, so
Yeah, right. It's always
That's
his birthday.
true. That's true. That's true. I got you something for your birthday, bro. Don't worry about it.
It's gonna be epic. I may have to come join you guys on Sunday. Like,
yeah.
talk my wife into it.
Absolutely. If you're around and your wife is having a
See.
good day,
We'll see.
just let us know. Anyway, I will be right back, friends, and we will play some Bendy VR. And with that said, I'd like to thank you all for watching. For Ruuts and Eric, I'm Wes. We'll see you in about 30 minutes.
Stay easy.
See you later.